don't need the temples of those days, which is what he speaks about. What we need is ourselves. We are the temple. We have become the living temple, the light within. Our consciousness is triggered moment by moment according to what you are feeling, according to what your image about yourself is, according to what you believe about yourself. That's all that's happening. And before this moment, we've been playing with the idea of choice. And how has that happened? Because we have the ability to have holographic resettlement. We have the ability to have aromatherapy. We have all these different inklings, these little openings that are showing us a little bit more of how we can regain our sense of empowerment. Hey, you want to know about this amazing thing? Let me share it with you and help me with this. Come and experience it. We are awakening each other through helping each other heal. And that is the remembering. As I was saying, the ancients left that as a code within us. And what we have to do simply is be in our truth. The more that you are in your truth in the moment, fully present in the now. For example, I'll give you this analogy. Right now, this is the only thing that exists on the face of this planet. Is this room, the space that are coming from the outside of sound effects. This room is all that exists. We are all here. That is important. That type of reality, when you step into any situation, and I understand that a lot of people who have practices, you do this, but you do it even more, with more intensity and more feeling, because you want to succeed more. It's about more success. Success is definitely about abundance. It is definitely about making money. And it is definitely about having lots of fun. So when you are in your truth and you are standing there and you are asking yourself in this moment, whether this moment is chaotic, or you're feeling disempowered, or disillusioned, or low, or you actually don't know what you are feeling, in this moment is your choice to be in your truth. And that's where our uniqueness comes. That's your each individual key. It's your moment to own your program. And in that moment you are generating an emotion which can either be fear and panic and I'm not worth it, or it can be love and abundance and prosperity, or it can be, you know what, I want to do this and that and who knows, but I just want something better for everyone and for myself. Does that make sense? Because what happens, we live in a world of duality. We created it like this. Otherwise, how would we know, you know the saying? How would we know how light the light is unless there's darkness? And let me tell you, as we continue seeking the light, the dark will become darker. Okay? That's the given. That's an absolute. So when people want to only step into the light, I'm only light. Listen, don't show me that, don't show me the TV, don't show me this, I don't want to know that. Good for you, but I'm focused on my light. Okay, we are ignoring a whole part of our own experience. It doesn't mean that you're going to step into the darkness and say, oh, just feed me whatever this is. You know, just lay it on, rub it in thick. You're not going to do that either. You're going to stand between you. Where you are balanced. Where you have a sense of who you are. And that governs on one of the first generator energies is self-trust. Trusting yourself. Now that can be quite a big daunting word, or it can be a word that we use all the time. No, I trust myself. We tell you, no one knows better than me. I really do. Self-trust? Yeah, I know that. I've heard that before. I've watched people do it. And I've been, I'm learning. I'm learning all the right words, and I know exactly how I need to be. So I'm working on my trust. But when something happens, and it rocks your boat, and suddenly your whole reality is upside down, that's when self-trust is important. Because it's in that momentum, in that energy gathering, you're not looking at the circumstances, detach from the circumstances, but feel the emotion of what you're in. You see a lot of people, they hold their breath. And they forget to allow the experience to move through them. When you hold your breath and you're sitting with a weak area in your body because you haven't dealt with the pain and the grief and the sadness or the anger, that bubble of energy will slip into your being and will sit like a pocket in your knee or your elbow, or will start manifesting on some level. So self-trust is being able to trust yourself in any circumstance that is presented to you. Full stop. Any circumstance. No matter what it is, you feel absolutely okay with the fact that you are going to make it through it. But you don't then say, stop doing that, bring me that, where's this? I can't find that, and you had it lost. You don't do that. That's manipulating your reality, and that will come back at you as the world being available to you, because you are not being the next self-trust is responsible. Now, let me tell you, I promise you, when I read about responsibility, I nearly walked out of the workshop. I was going to say, what? You want me to be responsible if there was one button and the whole of Earth's existence depended on it, and you want me to be responsible to control that button? No, let someone else do it. I don't want that responsibility. So I understand the level of responsibility we all express and experience. But we understand that it's a technology within you that before we haven't tapped into understanding the ability to respond to our reality that we are creating. So to be responsible means that you are responding with an ability to help, to hold, to guide, to say, listen, I'm feeling really vulnerable and right now maybe it's not a good time to talk to me, but I really enjoy our talks. That's the level of responsibility. Instead of saying, no, I actually don't want to speak to this person, you deal with it. That's shifting your responsibility, that's shifting your ability to change you. Now we work on different levels of emotional, mental, physical and spiritual energies. But all of them tie into your emotional ability. Now, if we understand that the DNA is our program, that we've now, it's our hard drive, let's say, that we've programmed, how do we know how to get that information up? Because right now we actually don't know. We're just watching all of the garbage on TV most of the time. Okay? We need what was given the word ego. Our ego in Latin means to go around in circles. So already, it was already known what the purpose of the ego was. And the ego is actually here to help us come up and say, okay, there's a lot of people in this room, and I've got this mirror here, and then to go back inside and tell the soul, listen, there's a lot of people inside, but there's a good mirror and you're fine. But it doesn't do that. You see, it goes back and says, they're not doing anything, they're just sitting there. So it's a lie. It's giving a projection of what you actually feel you're not, because you're not being responsible for generating it. If you are responsible for generating your reality, what you want, I want more love in my life. Hey, I want more fun. Okay, fun's a very big word. So the ego will say to you now, what kind of fun? You want to have food fun? You want to have roller coaster fun? You want to have alone watching video fun? What kind of fun do you want? You're not specific. Now I'm going to find a whole lot of things, and then I'm not going to give you anything. So you've got to be specific. When you're specific, and that is something that you say, well, I don't know what the fun is, but what makes me feel so happy inside, like a lightness, and I get so excited. That's what fun I'm looking for. Then that is the energy you hold on to, because your ego is then going to just go and match it up with something. And it will start generating a positive idea of fun. But the more vague you are, the more vague your reality is going to exhibit itself to you. So, in order to map oneself, you've got to know who you are. You've got to know your level of self-trust. And above all else, you've got to be really honest with you. Okay. What this mapping mechanism does, back to the kaleidoscopes and my research as to why people didn't like certain colors, is that it is holographic in nature. We are each and at any moment a specific color, sound, vibration. At any given moment. And as a separateness, you feel that separateness as the way of the world coming back at you. So you will experience unpleasant things, you will have unpleasant emotions, you will have everything of dissonance. Now dissonance is actually not a negative thing either. It's another map. It's like you're standing at the bottom of Africa and you have a choice of a panga and you have a choice of a whole workforce and you have a choice of which direction to go. And you have a map that's at the top, but you don't know how you're going to get there. But you know what you want. You want water, you want like good vegetation, you want to meet really cool people, you want things to share in common, you want to help build a community. There's a way that you're going to get to it. Visually, there's a way that you can get to it, which is to see the beauty with loving eyes that made everything. Everything has it. When you feel the resistance and you say, oh my God, you should have seen that, it was so terrible, stop yourself and ask, why are you feeling this? What has brought you to that decision? Because that is a separation that you are feeling separate from that. Where in essence, what you actually needing to or wanting to do is say, you know, I really feel for you, but in a way I'm so glad I'm not you, but I respect your choice to be you. But actually I'm on this path. You see the difference? That's the energy that we want to try and capture with what we're doing. And that's how you start to forage your map to work. Now the legend that I was telling you about is that we are light magicians. Okay? Light beings. And we have the ability to see light. Some see it more in hearing, because it will come to them that way, in sounds. But it has a light quality to it, something that draws your attention. Some see it in smell, some see it in taste, and some of us are really fortunate to see it and feel it and smell it and taste it and revel in it and want to generate more of it. This image takes you out of the world. It takes you out of the world, but it takes you into the world. It's the microscope and the telescope joining, and in their own time shifting and changing. And that is the process that allows the ego to be set free. It allows the beauty to fill your eyes. It allows the vibration of love and joy to fill your whole DNA matrix. And in that moment you are out of time, you are out of space. You have generated an energy of love, and in that moment you create the next moment. Then what happens, it doesn't end there. It will nearly finish the story. Then what happens is you come out of this moment where you've suddenly had a bliss moment. I'll call it a bliss moment for a moment. And you suddenly feel absolutely fabulous about everything. Yes, your life's on the right road, you're on the right track, all contact are made, you're good. You step into a reality which could be another room in the house. And you're presented with the very things that are there to challenge you. Now, what normally happens is we say, now who put that there? Who put that there? Why is that sitting there? I didn't plan for that. That wasn't what I wanted. We have that attitude. Or we become, this is too good to be true. Oh, there must be something here. Okay, I'm not going to trust it all the way. I'm going to sit and skirt around the edges of it and I'll enjoy feeling it, but I'm not going to fully be it. You see, then we give in our universe mixed messages. Yes, we want to create it. We want it. But then where's your level of self-trust? And how much personal responsibility are you doing in order for it to be safe? Because what happens is you step into that reality, everything starts to play itself out, and you remain in your integrity with dignity and respect and honoring the moment. Honoring means allowing yourself to be changed by the experience. So as you are mapping your way, you've got your panga, you've got your workforce, you're honoring the experience of the bruises and the cuts and the trekking through the mud. And you're honoring the experience of the workforce that is around you, busy helping you generate it. honouring each moment, good or bad, because there are no good or bad. We're given that. So it's very important when you're in your truth that you take responsibility. And sometimes it's a case of stopping yourself and saying, if this is not going the way that I would like it to go because I don't feel like I'm having fun here, then what am I doing? Or what can I do to change it? And sometimes it's as simple as, I'm out of here. Goodbye, nice to know you. Or it is, I really want to do more of this, and I enjoy this, but let's look at the boundaries of how we can play together. That brings in my last section that I'm going to be discussing about for now, is that we have actually, by nature, as magicians of light, the legends made it, actually are in dominion. Like the Knights of the Round Table, there's a sense of chivalry, and there's a sense of whatever reality we step into is friendly. But what we are facing as our major challenge to change, to be the map that we are, and it's all part of the process, is that we are in domination. We're feeling the need to have power over. We're feeling the need to hold people down. We're feeling the need to be better than or less than. And those aspects of ourselves is what has trapped us in time and in space. Because there's no more time. I don't have time to do that. You want me to read that book? You want me to go on that course? Let me see. No, I don't have time to do that. Because we want power over. Instead of stepping back and saying, right now it doesn't seem as though I can do the workshop or the course. But if I'm meant to, then I step in and trusting myself and taking responsibility to work towards doing that for myself. That is conscious creation. That is conscious map making. And it's a whole process. This is like a brief overview that I've given you of a whole process that I've got that you actually, once you know it, it becomes so clear and it becomes effortless. And if you find in your reality now that to be conscious and loving and giving takes effort, believe me, it does. Because it is effort making. You need to generate the energy to create more. But when you are sitting in the back seat of your life and you are watching things unfolding around you that you are unhappy about, and then you're wondering why and you're moaning, or you have people in your life that are like that, what is it saying about your level of responsibility for yourself? Because we know life now. We know it. We're here at this time and age. We know what we need. We know what we want. And now we have an access key that takes us between the worlds of everything that is known, everything, into a place of being that is so unknown, but so liberating, because that's where we come from. What is our main purpose? What is our main purpose besides having fun? It's to help. Help ourselves and help others. That's what we want. And the more we can do that and be successful at it, why not? Why not? I'm going to do a demonstration for you. And once my demonstration is complete, the lights will stay off. And if you feel you would like to feel it, then I invite you to come and stand and see yourself in the image. Just give yourself a moment. Because what it does is we know about crystals and we know about light. I'm using both of those. Bit of the mechanism behind that is what they call reflected symmetry. So what it's doing is spiraling an image like a mandala in motion. And that itself is, if you think about how DNA works like that, it's very deep triggers. But it's playful, and it's fun, and it's inspiring, and it's full of joy. And I'd love you to experience that. You can talk about it yourself and see whether it's the truth.